Hey y'all.
Hello everyone, it's James here. I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be reacting to the woman whose blood sugar is higher than a Yeti's nose hair. We're going to be reacting to Foodie Beauty. I believe that Foodie Beauty is channeling the ghost of a Roman emperor with the timing of this video. You know how Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Foodie put out a YouTube video while Syria was being bombed. Nah, everything's fine. Everything's great. So I think it's a very ill-timed video on her part. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a listen to what baffling stuff she's going to talk about and see what kind of madness spews forth from her mouth hole.
I'm just going to talk a bit about my health and give you a few updates. Now, I don't have a scale here yet, but
Okay, so that's where it should end, you talking about your weight. Right, let's talk about my weight. I don't have a scale. End of the video. Bye! But I'm sure we're going to get a garbled explanation.
my husband Salah did say that he was going to pick one up at some point for me, so that will be coming. I'd like to keep track. But even without a scale, I've noticed that just, I guess, the stress on my body recently with traveling and just adjusting to a new lifestyle that's not the same at all, really, from what I'm used to.
Basically, she's been asked the question, how much do you weigh? And she needs to give the answer 500 words. She can't think of an answer, so she has to go, notwithstanding the calculations of such a superfluous implementation of units of measurement, the accurate way to say, how much do you weigh? Perhaps with even such a thing as weight being taken into consideration as a form of currency, and we can perchance maybe think that there is some kind of aversion at play to answering this question, when she could just say, oh. She could just be like a Frenchman and go, boop, boop, oh, well.
I'm used to a more sedentary lifestyle, and I'm used to eating a lot more. So just based on those factors alone, and oh yeah, and perspiring quite a bit every day. I don't know if that makes a huge difference, but it probably makes somewhat, at least for some water weights. I will show you just, I guess, you know, how this shirt, I always use this shirt that I got in Thailand kind of as like an indication of if I've lost a bit of weight or not. And just by the way this is fitting, to the point where I can actually wear it out because the buttons are not bursting at the seams, then I know that I've probably lost a couple of inches or so, a little bit of weight. Just being less bloated, this shirt is fitting a lot better.
I'm not surprised. Have you seen the diabetic-friendly meals that she's eating? Fried chicken, loaves of bread, Indomie noodles, potato chips.
Like sometimes I'll have a package of Indomie. But the difference is when I have Indomie now, I just have the Indomie noodles, one pack with what, like a broth, instead of having 3 packs that I would have with cream and butter and cheese on it. Just little things like that.
But I think it's because she doesn't have that much access to cream and butter and cheese. If she had access to cream, butter and cheese, that would be slopped on her Indomie like nobody's business.
I drink mostly water. I do allow myself like a really cold treat drink a day, like a slush. They're very popular here. Or like a cola or something like that. That's what I do. I just, you know.
She does really well to keep to one sugary drink with her type 2 diabetes. She is such a healthy queen. I love it.
Take it day by day and just kind of try to really just listen to my body. Like, you know, if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to stuff my face.
Her body's going, help, help, help. And she's like, blip, 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 blip.
I will admit that it is hard. Sometimes there have been like maybe once or twice only. I've had time where we're not really doing much and I'm just like watching a movie or something and I really kind of get that habitual urge, or that urge sometimes when, you know, I want to eat more, but I just like, no, I can't. I just psychologically kind of just try to deal with it. It is hard still, but it's less hard here because a lot of my comfort foods and stuff like that, they're not available and they're not easily available, and there's just not really drive-throughs and things like that you can just go to. And you know, they still have some junk.
So you're saying that you didn't go to Syria to lose weight? I'll believe you.
But it's just not the same as, you know, when I was living in Canada or Kuwait. Kuwait has a lot of Western, you know, fast food places and stuff like that. And so, you know, I'm not in my comfort zone. I'm out of my element, and I'm forced to just do more activity. Life is just generally different here, and it's it's harder in a lot of ways. And so, you know, if you really want to.
It seems to me as if we have two different foodies here. We have the foodie that is recorded and somewhat edited, and then we have the foodie in the live streams, which is pretty much what she actually is. But on these recorded videos, she's like, yeah, I do this, I do that. And all we see is her driving about in a car eating fried chicken. I don't see anything different to what she's doing in Kuwait and in Canada. It's all the same. It's the same foodie, but just in a different, more precarious country.
You know, with limited electricity and limited internet and stuff like that, the best thing to do is go out and enjoy life. You know, go to a park with people and go visit people and just go for walks and stuff like that. So
She doesn't
I've been doing
do
a lot
that.
of that, and that's been, I guess, beneficial to my health in a lot of ways. Now, my diabetes. I took my blood reading today, and actually that inspired this whole wanting to do this update for you guys, because it's so much easier to do these updates when it's going to be a positive one than, you know, whenever it's like a negative. But my blood sugar reading, I was so surprised. Like my glucometer has different lights for, you know, showing you.
So the blood glucose here is 8.8. I assume that's her fasting blood sugar, which is still extremely high. Your normal fasting blood sugar should be between 4 and 7 mmol. When it comes to taking these blood glucose readings, it's fine to do that, but you have to keep in mind that these readings are ephemeral. They will change from 1 hour to the next. What she really needs to get done is her HbA1c. What that is called glycated hemoglobin, which is where the glucose molecules attach to the hemoglobin in your blood. And hemoglobin lasts for about 3 to 4 months in your body. With the glycated hemoglobin, that gives a much more accurate picture of your blood sugar levels across a longer period of time, rather than this reading here, which is right there, and then an hour later it will be higher, it will be lower. So the more accurate number would be from her HbA1c. I can't remember the last time she even did her HbA1c. It must have been in Kuwait, and I assume that was double digits, something like that. To be on medication and to have your fasting blood glucose be 8.8 is still dangerous, because you are overeating through your medication, and also you're not taking your insulin, which you haven't been told to stop. And I think that if you've been told to take insulin and you stop taking insulin without the doctor's knowledge, you are going to be in trouble, because your blood glucose is going to remain elevated without your insulin.
This is for a diabetic, okay? A normal, healthy, younger person, of course, their blood sugar will be like 5 mmol when, you know, when fasting, or after eating it might go up to 6 or something like that. Not much. So even more, I'm not sure. I don't remember the parameters, what they are for after eating, but it's easy to look up. So
fasting here, we've got above 7.0. She is in the red for her blood sugar reading in the morning. So I don't know why she's like, yeah, it's really good actually.
my blood sugar today was a green light. I was so
You literally just showed a picture of you being well into the red. So how is that a green light? Are you colorblind now? I guess the neuropathy could get to your eyes, and maybe she's lost the ability to see colors. Who knows?
happy. You know, admittedly, I've been neglectful with the diabetes thing in a lot of ways, as in, when I ran out of insulin, I didn't go back to see the doctor in Kuwait. I just had a lot going on, and I just never did it. And
yeah, she had mukbangs to do. She ain't got time to go see a doctor. No.
I just stuck to the metformin. I was taking twice a day. I sometimes take it twice a day. I usually only take it actually once a day, which is 1,000 milligrams.
She's not taking her medication properly. She should be on 2,000 milligrams of metformin, which is the max dose for metformin across the day. It's just so neglectful. She's really dicing with her health here. It seems like she thinks she knows more than the doctors and the nurses. She's like, well, I only need to take metformin once a day. I didn't even think I have diabetes. I cured it years ago. I'm all hot and bothered due to the weather, and now hearing her talk about the mismanagement of her diabetes medication, I'm going to be blowing steam out of my ear rolls. Good job I got my earphones on. Good grief.
Seems to be working. Like, it's not, I think the lifestyle changes affect it as well. Of course, if you go from eating, you know, my diet was so bad at times in Kuwait, most of the time, and in Canada, but most recently in Kuwait, I would, you know, we would have dinner, sometimes breakfast, dinner, and then another dinner, I guess breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know. It was all, I didn't have like a structured eating pattern, as you guys know, but you saw from my mukbang videos, my eating videos, like I would eat a lot of junk and processed food, and I would eat a lot of it. You know, I really am convinced the quantity of it that you eat is just makes such a difference for weight.
Really? The amount you eat correlates to how much you weigh. Julia, did you know that? No, I didn't know that. Of course I bloody did. I'm a cat. I'm not bloody stupid. Exactly. What's she playing at? And why have you been shaved? Oh, I look like a right twat. I know you do. I'm sorry about that, Julia.
Tons of fast food, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. Then I would have snacks like just chips, cheese, Indomie. Like the amount that I would eat actually, like it's just when you really
Chips, cheese, Indomie. You still have chips and Indomie now, so you're just cutting out the cheese. Maybe she ate so much cheese that she's actually losing weight because the sheer amount of cheese she used to eat in Kuwait pales in comparison to what she's eating now.
really like think about it. Yeah, it does make you sick just thinking about it. And you know, I had a lot of issues. So a lot of issues with food and just a lot of dark times with food. And of course, the metformin wasn't enough, right? It just wasn't enough holding the blood. I mean, I just had too much blood sugar for it to, you know, I had to be on insulin. Like I had to. I find that now, you know, that I'm eating like even less than 1/3 of what I was eating and moving more, I find that that makes a difference because, you know, moving really does affect your blood sugar.
All right, your blood sugar's lower than double digits on fasting. You still should be taking your medication. You don't stop taking it just because you're eating less. You need to consult with a knowledgeable physician to actually see whether you should be taking your medication or not. Hearing her talk about all this diabetes stuff actually makes me want to poo hazelnuts. I just find it so annoying and she grates me so much talking about this rubbish.
So that's my blood sugar reading today. That was my fasting blood sugar, which is still, I know, kind of high. But for me and my like diabetes standards, that's really low. That's, you know, 3.
Pat yourself on the back, Foodie, once again. Well done, yo.
3.3 points away from being optimal, super normal. And that's without insulin. So, and I hadn't taken my medication yet today. So whenever I do have my main meal, I will have my metformin. Yeah, that's the update for my diabetes. I am no longer taking the insulin. If in the future, I'll keep track of my blood. And if, you know, I see there's an issue with the blood sugars again and they're going up again, I will seek out medical care for that and, you know, possibly have to go back on something. But
And I'm sure that's very easy to do in Syria. I'm sure that's incredibly easy to find a doctor, especially when there's one doctor for potentially 20,000 people in certain areas of Syria.
I think that's about it for the diabetes update. One other thing I want to talk about is mental health. From what I read on the internet,
The one thing I'll say for her mental health is that she certainly is mental and health. Not sure about that one.
when I kind of Googled, are antidepressants available in Syria? And the general answer that came up was they're very hard to come by because mental illness is seen as taboo. That actually is true and not true. We actually did find a pharmacy that has my brain pills. So the exact...
Why does she call them brain pills? With antidepressants, they don't work instantly. They take at least 14 days. And in those 14 days, you may actually feel worse. So I don't know why she calls them brain pills. Is she being like cute and stuff? My brain don't work good, so I need to take brain pill for functions.
So that's that. You know, I tried coming off of them again, and, you know, a lot of people...
Stop coming off your medication. And to come off your antidepressants cold turkey is so dangerous. No wonder she's all over the place if she's not taking her brain pills properly. You have to make sure that you take them regularly, because otherwise things are just going to get really, really bad for you.
I know I shouldn't just never do that. Never just come off of antidepressants without medical supervision and without tapering off, you know, but...
Then why did you do it, you silly ass?
I thought I was in a place where I wouldn't have access, and it might not be possible to always, you know, to travel to a place nearby where they have some. Who knows what the circumstances. What if it happens sometime where you don't have access to them? So I was trying to prepare for that, and I thought, you know what? I'm happy, you know, I'm happy right now. Maybe I can do it. But that has nothing to do with being happy or not. It's you know, it's actual a function in your brain that it regulates. So that was rough. I made it a week, and then by the 8th day I was feeling manic. Yeah. So I just went back on them.
And on the 8th day, Foodie went batshit.
I'm feeling a lot better, and I guess that's about it. I know some people are skeptical, like it doesn't work that fast. Actually, I don't know if it's placebo effect, but it does for me. Now, when you first initially start an antidepressant, it can take weeks to fully work in your brain and
Thank you.
fix things. But once you're on them for that long, I think it probably doesn't take as long. That could be why. So, yeah.
If you say
those are my
so.
health updates. I don't know.
Yeah, well done, Foodie. Thank you so much for these health updates. I absolutely find them absolutely wonderful that you're doing these health updates for us. May they continue long into the future. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you haven't already, and please subscribe if you haven't already. The word of the day is Oscott, because bloody all shaved and that. I'm all bloody 80, you know. All right, Julia, calm down. I don't like it. Yeah, I know you do. So that's the word. That's the word of the day. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I shall speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.